So I want to relate the things with the movie. I want to relate the things with the project. So meanwhile, I can just do other activity, right? So I'll just share the screen. So yeah, so this part I'll discuss later, movie part. I'll just go to the next screen, all right? And we'll see. Okay, from some pictures we can see what the things are there, right? So if I will go, so this is the picture, right? So if you see this picture, so if I will zoom this picture, right, what you are thinking about it? These are some of the pictures, right? So from these pictures, what you are thinking? Like if I will take picture number one. This is the picture number one. So what you are thinking about this picture? Just I need some input from your side.
Unorganized.
It was messy before and it is clean. I mean, it was more organized later.
More structure, unorganized. Yeah, fine. Others,
Easy to access things one in the second picture.
unorganized.
Seems to be a
Second,
storehouse.
initially it might be a storehouse. A storehouse. Yeah.
Easily
So
accessible.
the name is organizing agency, but it is totally opposite to what it is named. It
Okay.
has all the racks and everything is there, but the things are all on the shelf. I mean, they are off the shelf. They are all on the floor.
So it is some. It is similar to unorganized, right?
Right, right.
Correct. Correct. So from the picture number one, you mainly observe it's a organized. This is the main issue, right? Main issue is unorganized, right? So in picture number two also, what's your opinion? What you are thinking about picture number two? It's the same, unorganized.
Yes, sir. Unorganized and poor 5S sort of thing is there.
Okay. Unorganized and poor.
5S means the same thing. Scientifically, it is called as 5S.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Unorganized despite being capable of being organized.
Okay. So mainly the issue is unorganized. Okay. So this is something what you are thinking from the picture are uh, the differences between two pictures, right? So I'll ask next question. What exactly, if you see unorganized, right? So what exactly the effects? Like if it is suppose it's a business shop, right? Business shop, right? So what you think like this unorganized part is going to play with the business, right? So if you see it is unorganized, what exactly it means, like on a business perspective? Yeah.
So if it is unorganized, only the person who is engaged with the business knows things where it is and what it is, things like that. But when it is organized, you can employ anyone who can be easily trained and he can take care of the business and proceed.
So we can say if it is organized, then we have a proper supply of a product, or we can say we have a proper identification of the product
Yes, sir.
at place. In terms
Yeah.
of place, we can say a proper identification.
And also, sir, the time to retrieve the data to supply the components also increases in case of unorganized one.
Okay. So other point is delay in delivery.
And sir, if in case the food segment is there, shelf life, like it will not be able to follow FIFO, it will be LIFO, last in first out. So that will reduce the shelf life of products.
Shelf life, or you can say the expiry thing you won't be able to identify, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So in that case, like there is a case, the products got expired and they are not able to identify what are the products are going to expire or not, right? Okay.
And
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 sir,
also
I'm saying
inventory management
the
will be in poor, so lot of fund will be blocked in inventory because he'll not be able to understand how much quantity of what product is available at which place.
Inventory fund issue. Yeah. Next.
sir
While
the
cross-checking the inventory, there will be an issue. I mean, it's like cross-checking
Yeah.
the inventory.
Yeah. Inventory issue. I have written inventory issue. Inventory fund issue or inventory issue. Yeah.
sir, the ratio of the used space and unused space will also reduce.
Correct. So it is something like you are occupying more spaces, right? More spaces, and it's a random arrangement, we can say.
Yes.
Random arrangement,
chances of
which
damage.
creates
Probability of damages will be more,
space
sir.
crisis. Space crisis, right? Yeah. So damage is another thing.
Sir, and dependency on one single or one couple of persons.
Okay.
Because if that particular person who knows this shop in and out is not
Mm-hmm.
present or is away due to some issues, then if they are putting some other replacements, they couldn't find anything that easily.
Okay. So I'll write reduce in visibility of product.
Hmm. Yeah.
And sir,
Reduce
the
in
probability of selection would also be random.
visibility of product. Selection will be random. So it means like visibility is reduced. It means they are not able to find out the products, right? Okay. So any other things are coming in your mind when you are seeing these pictures?
Sir, queue waiting time will be high in unorganized.
Yeah. Delay in delivery. That I think I have already mentioned somewhere. Delay in delivery. Okay. Okay. So I'll show you one this picture now. Right. So with this picture, what you are thinking about, like we have, so this is something like if you see here, so it is unorganized, totally unorganized, right? But if it's, so it is totally unorganized, unorganized, unorganized. So if you see this picture, what you are thinking about. So
Sir, it is addressing all
I
the
need your
issues.
opinion. I need your opinion in positives and in negatives as well. Right? So I'll write one positive of image, right? And one negatives of image, right? So maybe you can just tell me what are the positives you are finding from this image.
Sir, positive is the all the negative portion that we spoke, like damage, inventory, shelf life, all will be like resolved in this organized way of storing products in a standard way.
Okay, great. So it's something like most of the problem we have discussed in this unorganized portion, it will be rectified, right? So what are the other things you can just see from this image? What you can find other things from this image?
So the same product is kept in three shelves, like whereas it could have occupied only one shelf. I mean, when the product is less, they could have kept it in one shelf only, so that it's visible properly, and the other shelves can be used for other things.
Yes, so I can say it's a segment wise or like allotment of product, segment wise structuring product, correct?
So the products are not getting the condition which they require for, for being fresh.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Products are out of shelf life, so
They
these
should be
products
kept
should be
in
hide.
under low temperatures. But if they are
Okay.
stored like this, they will be damaged in less time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it will come here, segment-wise product. So here we can say those products need a cold storage. They can store in a cold storage place. Those who are not in need of cold storage, they can store in separate place, right? Okay.
Or sir,
So,
MOQ can be improved, minimum order quantity. Like the
correct.
quantity might be more than what is being consumed periodically.
Mm-hmm. MOQ or proper inventory, proper product management. So we can do a proper merchandising also. Like if I can give you our input, if we have a different product at a different location, we can do a proper merchandising of a product, right? So it will be help in marketing as well, right? If it is in a structure, it will help in marketing. It will increase the visibility, right? So if you see the previous image, you won't be able to identify what the products are all about, what the products the business shop are having, right? So if it is a structure, you can just properly see what are the products they are having, right? Here also you can see the same thing. What are the products? If they put all the vegetables in one bucket, it will be difficult for them to identify. Okay, so this is something like a main problem for an unorganized sector. Why it is called unorganized? In the sense like they don't have a proper structure, right? They don't have a proper structure where they can organize the commodities or organize a product in a proper way, right? So they are just throwing everything. Like if you go in a small shop, right, nearby your house, it's a general store shop. So traditionally, if you go in the village, tier two, tier three cities, they are not bothering. They are just making their shops in this particular fashion. They are using the same procedure. They're throwing everything like in a random place. And what happens when the customer come, they'll not able to identify. So there will be a big queue, as you already some of you already showed. Like because of these issues, there is a big queue, and because of that, sometimes he is able to lose the customer, and this lose in customers, so they are losing customers. So this help in business aspects of it. So this might be the problem which they are facing, and because of losing the customers, they will just lose the business, right? So next thing I'll go here. Okay. So this is the next picture. So what you are thinking about this picture? What's your opinion? So this is the problem. Like if you see for unstructured business, if you see unstructured business, so this is the main problem, right? So because of the inventory management, they don't have a proper inventory management, right? Say something like they are putting in a very unstructured way, not a structured way, in an unstructured way. So it is very difficult for them tracking the product, right? That's why you have seen like a pharmacy shop. I can just put a plus sign. Pharmacy shops, they have a barcode. So they are putting the product in a very structured way, because this is something like a very type of segment where they need the product because a lot of things. I'm audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, sir, you are.
Oh, okay. So if you see a pharmacy shop, right? So for a one product, like if you can see a fever, right? Fever, you can see some other viral infection, oral, right? So there are multiple segments. If they will use the same pattern like this, then they will not be able to identify what the where the medicine is all where we have come the medicine, right? It is very difficult for tracking. So what they are doing, they are just putting a barcode, right? They are putting a barcode on the like if you go for a big pharmacies nowadays, what they are doing, they are putting a barcode on the barcode sticker on the tablet, right? They are just scanning the barcode and they are getting the exact location where the product is all about. So this is a very important thing. Like you see what exactly how the transformations are happening. Like if it is a totally unorganized sector of business where they are having a random allocation of the product, and when we just try to organize it, right, there is a huge difference. In terms of different ways, you can see changes are happening. It is easy for them to track. It is easy to reduce the delay in services, right? It is easy to identify, okay, this is the quantities we are having and how much we need to order frequently, right? So these things will come basically from like if you just transform from unstructured to somewhat structured in a business point of view, or on a just storing the different product in a sequential form, right? So unstructured business problem, this is the biggest thing you are seeing is inventory management, right? So they are not able to do inventory management. So when you are going to the business owner, right? So just don't ask any question. What I'll suggest you, just go and see the shop, right? Just see the shop, whether it is organized or unorganized, right? They'll say we initially they when you'll go to the business, they'll ask you like we don't have any problem. When so don't ask any questions, just go to the shop, just ask the question. If it is type of this pattern, just ask them like how you're finding the product. Like if some customers are coming, so you have put everything over here, right? So when the customer is asking, a lot of customers are there. So when they're asking how you are going to find out the product where it is all about, right? When you are going for a lunch, right? Somebody else will come. So some customer came, they are asking for some product, and he don't aware about it, right? So what happens? He will say like come after some time. But the customer is in need of the product, right? So what he will do? He will go to the other shop. He'll just purchase it for the from the other shop. He will not wait for you to come, right? So from here, these 2 points are coming, right? The first point is that, like you are saying, you are just not asking him a business problem. You are just telling him like these are the problems you are having in your business. Then he will realize, okay, yeah, it is correct. Just try to show them a pictures like this, like this pictures. So what exactly? Because they don't know how to organize. We have a lot of things in our homes. For us also, like, we have a lot of data. We have a lot of things with us, like a lot of accessories. But sometimes it happens like we are throwing everything here and there, right? So it is very difficult for us when we need that particular accessories. It is very difficult to find it out because we don't have in a particular place. So just tell them the importance of shifting from unorganized to organized. Okay. So the other thing is that, yeah, any doubt?
But sir, actually there's a slight margin in that, because most of the time the business owner will be there and he will be responsible for arranging the things. So if you are like, I mean, we should tell them in a mild manner, because if you are like the
Yeah,
way
that is what I told you. Just don't go directly and ask them anything. Just try to get insights from them, right? If you just ask them about this, like if they have something or unorganized, right? You can just politely ask them like what exactly, how you're finding the product in case the business is coming, in case some customers are coming, right? So these things you can ask politely, right? You can just ask them like you can just ask the problems they are facing. Don't ask them like what are the consequences and other things, right? So just ask them politely what how they are. You try to understand the problems they are facing on, right? Try to understand how they are running the business with this unorganized thing, right? Then only you'll get some idea and you'll able to suggest them. What it?
yeah, exactly. But if we are like, if we are telling like the way we are arranging the things are not right, then it might end up in a negative manner sometimes. That's what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say.
No, you can. That is what I told you. You can just take both the pictures with them, right? Just try to understand the importance of arranging the thing.
Yeah.
You don't say directly it's not arranged properly. You tell them like you take both the pictures. Some pictures you can download. Just show them like what exactly the difference are in this, right? It will take an initial 1 to 2 days for you to manage the things, but for a long term, if it is managed properly, they'll not face any problem. In case they are in the shop, they are not in the shop, some other person will easily handle the product and they can deliver it to the customer. Got it?
Yes. Yeah.
I
Thank you.
think up to this it is clear. Just thumbs up if it is clear. We can just move on.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, okay.
So we are talking about the product market. Can this be observed in the service sector also? Like if they are not storing their data properly or they're storing
Yes,
something at one place and something at the other place, then
yes,
how
yes.
to tell them?
So I'll just give you an example, right? So so during my PhD days, I was dealing with some vendors for fabrication of my product, right? Or for developing a software to operate the motors and all. So what exactly they are doing? So suppose they are, I have given them an order, right? So they are developing some software, right? So software. So it is something like a hit and trial. So like if I am the first customer or I'm the 10th customer for my, I don't know, like if I'm the 10th customer, so for a similar software they have deal with the different customers, right? Suppose five number of customers, they have already built a similar setup or similar software, and they have delivered it to them, right? But what happen if I ordered this particular software after 1 year? If they don't have a proper management of data or proper management, you can say software management, right? Software management or database management. So what happens? They're not able to find out the product, right? So what they will do, they'll just start from the scratch because the previous person who developed the software is not there in the company. They have put the software data of the software, everything they have put in some hard disk, and they are not able to find it out which hard disk it is. Now what happens? So again, if they want to build a setup for me, or they want to build a software for me, right? So what they have to do, they have to start from scratch, right? So they have to start from scratch and they have to build a software for me. So what happens? Like they already had a software, right? The similar software because of this data mismanagement, right? Everything is gone. Now they have to start everything from scratch. And in case if they are not just storing it safely, then in future also they'll face the same problem. Okay. So this is very important. Like I'll give you one more example of myself only. So last year we had a flood, right, in Chennai. So I have all the data, like my PhD data, all the experiment things are there in my desktop, right? In my desktop, in my hard disk. So I have made a multiple storage, right? I have taken a backup in multiple hard disks, right? There are 5 hard disks. In every hard disk, I had a backup, right? So what happens when the flood came? So we are not expecting this huge flood, right? It's something like an unexpected thing happened. So my whole house was flooded, right? So it is nearly 4 feet or 5 feet. It is flooded. Luckily, I was not there at that time. So it is one time. It is one side. It is luckily also, and one side it is not luckily because when it is flooded up to 5 feet, whole things like my desktop, everything was in the water, right? Even the hard disk was in the water. I have taken a multiple backup, right? Even though all the things are under the water, right? And after some time, get lost, right? Everything, the hard disks are not working, CPU was not working, everything was gone. But luckily, like one hard disk, I put it somewhere else, right, on the top. So from there, I'll just retract my data. So what I mean to say from here, like if you don't have a proper data management, like if it is a company, they are making a software, right? So what they have to do, they have to just either they can put a softwares or something on a cloud storage so that if new persons are also coming, right? So if some new persons are coming, they can have an idea. They can just extract from there, and they can just try to get it from there, right? So usually these things are happening. It's not something a new thing I'm telling. It is already happening. If you see a different, it's a well-established company, right? If it is a well-established company, then you can see they are having a good storage system. They are just saving all the data on a cloud, right? On AWS or some other that cloud storage they are using, and they are storing all the data in the cloud system. So they are not having a data in a system in a traditional way. But those companies who are not at that particular stage, they are storing software in somewhere, some places, and they are just trying to just get it from there. So in that case, like if it is a small business, right, then this is a problem. This is a problem for them. Hope it is clear.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So this is what if I'll see here. So inventory is the important thing, like for any of the business. Like if you say inventory in terms of a data management, inventory in terms of a product management, right? Anything like if the business is there, like inventory is pretty important. Right? So you see here the importance of inventory. Like if we have a different medicine, if we have 2 to 3 products, right? It is very easy to track them. But if we have a multiple products, like we are dealing with nearly 20 SKUs or 50 SKUs. It is very difficult. Right? It is very challenging for us to just see like how we are going to manage other things, because sometimes it happens like some things are stored and they are just not at all usable. So sometimes, like if you see, there are 2 commodities, right? So if you see multiple commodities are there, right? So the first commodities cost nearly rupees, suppose 2000, right? Some commodities cost rupees nearly 100 rupees. Some commodities cost rupees nearly 5,000 or 50,000, right? I'm telling it about related to the pharmacy shop, right? So, or any shop you can say, I'm just giving an example. So if these commodities are there, like if it is a fast moving, right? It is a fast moving, then it is fine. So if it is a fast moving, right? It is a fast moving 50,000, then it is fine. But if it is a slow moving, right? So it acts as an inventory. So what happens here? It is blocking your money and it is blocking your space. So both are the things are occupied here, right? So mainly it is pretty costly. So this is the key factor you can see here, blocking money. So 50,000 is blocked for one list medicine, for one injection, or for one product, right? So in that sense, like the inventory is pretty very important thing in the organized sector. And if you want to increase the profit, so you can just explore and dig out on the inventory thing. Okay, it is clear. Just give a thumbs up. So yeah, so we can go with the second problem, right? So we'll try to understand what exactly it is. So from this picture, what you are thinking, I want from you all, I want to understand what you are thinking from this picture. Yeah.
So you're asking about bottom right image?
Yeah. So these all are similar images. If I'll go give you this image, right? So what you are thinking about it? So any idea like it's coming in your mind, you can just say these are the things you are thinking about.
So they are simple food sellers, sir. They must be living day to day with the cost they are earning. They have limited products to sell, which has a shelf life also. They buy from the wholesale market on day-to-day basis, and then they sell to in the retail market, either in the nearby shop or through moving from one locality to other.
Okay.
So they don't have sound management for fund and arranging the products or storing the products for the next or longer period of time.
Okay.
A couple of unstructured business in a locality or a area.
Pardon? Yeah. 1 second.
A couple of unstructured businesses.
Okay.
I feel
Unexpected.
these are small wholesalers. They have procured from bigger wholesalers, but they have got the quantities. They have got everything in large quantities. So maybe they're looking. They are used to selling it to retailers or small shopkeepers. And the way their things are kept out, it means they're working on day-to-day basis, and this is what is on estimation basis. They don't have storage facility, so this is the amount of thing they are selling probably every day. That is why they have procured so much from the wholesalers, and they are on the road. They don't have any proper
Mm-hmm.
shop. So,
Okay.
in case of rain or any bad weather, I think that these people are the ones who are going to suffer the most in case their products don't get sold off.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, they are
And
like
though
local
it seems
distributor. Sir, they are
yeah.
like local distributor. They don't have any marketing or any distribution pattern. Though, so they sell their product themselves only.
Okay.
So, sir, though it looks like unstructured, like they don't have a proper inventory management, but in a
Mm-hmm.
way, they would have, for example, on the day start, if they would have buy 15 bag full of tomatoes or any vegetables, and they sell 10 or 12 of those bags. So, though they won't have the access to every single transaction, they can have
Mm-hmm.
a track of the whole transaction. So I have bought 15 bags for this price each, and I have sold 12 bags, and this is my profit. So though there is no proper inventory management, they still have some hold on those profit and loss, that kind of stuffs.
Okay. Great. So good inputs I'm getting. Tell me if somebody have something in their mind. Yeah, yeah.
Sir, their product is unique, sir. Only one, invariably single product they are selling, like tomato. The entire shop has
Okay.
only a
Sir,
single.
So
if
they have a very less business setup cost.
Okay.
if they manage properly and buy adequate quantity, like not less and not more, they have
Mm-hmm.
upper hand than bigger shops, because bigger shops, they cost storage to them, but they would not have any problem for storage if they buy adequate amount of quantity.
Okay. Great.
Sir,
So
and
yeah, yeah. Tell me.
yeah, sir, and they would have an emotional connect with their customers. Not all customers, but at least a few set of customers, they would have some emotional connect. Unlike the big
Mm-hmm.
stores, where if you get a 1 kg of tomato and it is 20, when they gonna bill, even if they are emotionally connected, it is still 20 rupees. But in
Mm-hmm.
these cases, right, it's like people, if their sellers are emotionally connected and they know people, they often put something like if there is 1 kg of tomato they are going to buy, they will just put
Mm-hmm.
2 3 tomatoes extra there. So those, that
Okay.
kind of an emotional connect they have, so which is a upper hand in compared to other organized big shops, maybe.
Okay. Great. Great. I got a good
But sir,
feedbacks from you.
there is a irony here that people
Uh-huh.
negotiate here, but they don't negotiate in malls or the showrooms.
Correct. Correct.
Sir, the
Negotiation
price,
is important.
I
One
mean,
added
custom.
advantage is that customer retention would be more in these type of businesses, which maybe big sectors would lack.
Okay.
sir,
Okay. I'll touch on these points. Yeah. Anything else or yeah, it's a good feedbacks I'm getting from you. This.
So there's
Sir,
one more myth
negotiation
is
does help
people.
in customer retention also because when you are negotiating, you are interacting with
Correct.
the person. So negotiation leads to more customer retention.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
And so the freshness of the product would be another factor here, because they are not storing anything and people can see that. So every day they are getting fresh products. Whereas in big malls, the product would be 2 to 3 days old also.
Okay. Great.
sir, sir, the price is likely to vary uh, according to the time, sir. If it is evening, they will sell it at a low price, possibly.
Okay. So yeah, I received a good feedbacks from you. All like a lot of things are covered here. But one thing I want to ask, like from this picture, like, are you think like they are getting paid for what they are doing here? Like what, how much they are putting a struggle, right?
Very
So
less.
how much? they are just putting a struggle, how much they are just spending on their expenditure. The profit margin is pretty less, what I think. Like, what's your opinion? So is it justified, like whatever they are just giving to the customer, right? It is the price is justifiable, right?
Sir, usually the efforts that they are doing to retain the customer or reducing the price, it is just because of their survival issue. So
Correct.
there a big no that they are actually getting benefited out of the entire process in a decent way.
Correct. So yeah,
So
so
basically, they are daily wage earners. So if they lose a business on a particular day, they don't have anything to take home until
And then
they will lose their business also if they are not consistent with their work. But like if they miss on any one day, their person who are buying from them will shift off to someone, and they may have to again struggle the next day from the beginning to get the
great.
things sold.
So yeah, so what I want to focus here is the second point, is the price inconsistency, right? So there is an inconsistency in the price. So suppose in day one they are selling the same product at nearly 200 rupees, 200 rupees, right? Rupees 200. In the same day up to evening, right? This is the case I'm telling for the morning, right? Evening time they are selling the same product at rupees 50. Why this inconsistency in the prices are there? Because
Sir,
did yeah, tell me.
Perishable.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead, sir.
Perishable.
Yeah. So why this inconsistency in the prices are there, right? So this is basically for unorganized sector of the business, where like especially in terms of, like, you can say small vendors who are coming from the villages to sell. They have only one day in hand. They are coming in the morning. They are starting in the morning, and they have to leave in the evening. Right? They don't want to take the things back to their home. Because why? I received a feedback from you, some of you who has already told, like, there is a storage problem, right? So this is the main problem they are facing. Right? They don't have anything. I'm telling you, this might be the case like in mandis, sabji mandis and all. There are big vendors or there are dealers also. They are purchasing from them and they are selling at a higher price. They have a storage, right? They can store it and sell it later. For a small vendors, like for a small vegetable vendors, for a small peoples of farmers, they are coming from the basically from the villages and they are selling on a daily basis. So this is the main problem is storage. That is why we can see a fluctuation in the price in a single day. Like in the morning, they are selling at 200 rupees, and while because they don't have a storage, they want to go home by selling all the materials, right? All the products. So they will sell the same at 50 rupees, right? So this is for unstructured business. You can see the same thing. Like if you can say a grocery shop, right? So in a grocery shop also same things are happening. What exactly happening? Because in grocery shop, what exactly is happening? So the shopkeeper. So this is something a shop. So shopkeeper is just going to a retailer, okay? Retailer, right? This retailer is purchasing from a dealer, and this dealer, there might be some sub dealers also, like above the dealers. There might be some uh, sub dealers here. He is purchasing from some of the sub retailers are purchasing from sub dealers, and above that there should be like some of the regional dealer who will deal with the whole. Like you can say a tehsil or a district wise, like he can just deal, and after then he's purchasing from the company, right? So, like, what exactly is happening? So, why this inconsistencies are coming? Because the shopkeeper is not purchasing from a manufacturer. That is obvious. Obviously, it's he'll not able to take from. Uh, you can say he'll not able to take from the company directly because there is some minimum order quantity, right? But what happens there? There might be the case in the monopoly on the prices. Like if shopkeeper some product like you can say a product one. So its demand is too high, right? It is too much demand. product twos are there. Product two, product three. So product, if I can say, a product one demand is very high than product two, and similarly it will go to product three. So what happens? This is the most moving product. I'm not taking here any specific business. I'm telling in general. So if product one is of any of the business is pretty important, right? So the shopkeeper knows this, and when he's going to buy it from the retailers, right? So retailer also will come to know, okay, product one is pretty important because he's placing the frequency of placing the order, like frequency of placing product one order is nearly in a month he can place five order lots of nearly 100 products. So what exactly it is coming? So from the data, if you see from the data, he'll identify which product is more, product one, product two, or product three. He just purchased from the retailer. Now retailer is getting a benefit. He is playing a card with the shopkeeper. Like he knows like this is the most important product, and he'll say like I'll reduce the profit. I'll reduce the profit margin from product one, right? He'll say previously he was giving, suppose this is a product one. Previously he was giving nearly rupees 30 as a profit, right? As a profit in the sense like they can just on the MRP he can reduce 30 rupees and give it to them. But once he come to know like this is a fast moving product, so what he can say, I'll give you nearly 10 rupees profit margin. At anyhow, what exactly the shopkeeper need to sell because the demand is high. Product one he need to sell, the demand is high, but he is also struggling with the price, right? So in that sense, what basically shopkeepers needs to do, what they have to do, they don't have to depend on a single point of source, right? So it means if this is a shopkeeper, so he don't have to depend on a single retailer. He can have a choice: retailer one, retailer two, retailer three. He can just explore the opportunities, right? If he depends upon him, so what exactly he is doing? He is reducing his profit margin. But if there is a competency in the market, right? It is a competitive market. There should be a fluctuation in the prices. Then he will be able to reduce the price because he know like if he will not give it this much percent margin, then there are multiple other retailers who can give the same product at a lower price at a higher profit margin. So this is something like happening in the market where there is inconsistency in the prices, right? So this is the point. It's covered. Now I'll just go to one more point and we can just wind up the session. And other things I'll take in the next session. Hope you are enjoying this session. I hope you are not getting bored, right? Great. So this is
Yes, sir.
pretty good for me to listen. Like if you are enjoying the session or not, because if you're not getting bored, I'm taking a practical example. That's why. So so that you can have an interaction and you will also understand what exactly is happening about. Right. So not I'm taking some data and I'm taking some plot. I'm taking some real pictures and just trying to just communicate with you or just trying to understand what exactly the concept is. So yeah, I'll take another question. Another picture I'll show you. So this is the picture. What you are thinking about this picture?
It is a cycle and a process in which food is consumed, like Krebs cycle. Something like that.
Okay. So I can say it's something like a cycle, right?
Yes, sir.
Some cycle. Okay. Yeah. So what others are thinking about it?
Value addition in raw materials.
Value addition in raw material, in what sense?
Like raw materials, if we process raw materials and after packaging, its price also increases. So if
Mm-hmm.
material costs 20 rupees, sometimes the finished product's price reaches 100. So
So
this
you
is
can see
also
it's a pricing
value
modeling
addition.
or pricing prediction, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Sir, it is cycle from producer to consumer. The entire value chain is being captured here.
Okay. Producer to consumer. Fine. Yeah.
So in this circle, if anything get wrong, then the consumer will have the impact.
Okay. So break in cycle, effectiveness,
So shelf life increase
shelf life increase. How?
because raw material you don't. I mean, they don't can sustain for long when they are processed and manufactured. We add chemicals, they can they shelf life.
Okay. Okay.
Sir, this also reflects a timeline, sir, of the process and consumption. We can
Okay.
understand the timeline also, the time taken for everything.
Great. Fine. Timeline. Yeah, Priyansh, you can mute yourself if you don't want to. Oh, just yeah. Anyone else want to comment? What you are thinking about this?
It can also mean how much money a farmer can make.
Okay.
Input to output, how much time he has. It represents cycle.
Total cycle time.
I mean, turnaround of the investment. That is what I mean. Not just the cycle time. How many times can he actually get the money? He makes an investment, it goes out. By the time he realizes cash, if the cycle improves, he makes more money.
So not of the business investment. Yeah. Anyone else?
Sir, in this type of chain, the weather also an important factor.
Okay.
Sir, we can in a way say that how the price are getting added at each stage of the process. The final product price, which is billed to the customer, from the
Mm-hmm.
actual raw material price, which is where it is produced. So at every stage, the cost is added with
So
some margin.
price modeling, I have quoted it here.
Right, right.
Anything else?
Any kind of fluctuations, for example, the increase in the fuel cost or increasing the, for example, if there is a crisis from importing from China for the packaging, it will cost the transportation and logic. So everything
Okay.
is highly connected and everything is kind of, I mean, the price is highly correlated with each and every element in this cycle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Great. Yeah. Some other. Okay. I'll just give you this picture. Right. So I'll just try to relate this picture from that cycle, right? So are you getting any insights from this picture?
The cycle gives employment to many people also.
Okay. Cycle employment, as you said, I have written. Yeah. Any other point?
Now the
I can
shortest
see a
cycles.
weighing scale with him, so that his location is not fixed, so he can go to wherever we want. So it's like a how to say, he can choose different places for the, so that the
Mm-hmm.
customers will be different.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Sure. So in the usual shop or in the market, the customer retention works in a way that customer will find that particular shop or market person, but here it is on the opposite side. So here the customer retention will come from this person who sells it, because he only goes to places like whichever area, right? So it will be the opposite of that. So if he want to retain those customers, then he want to go to that particular areas, then he have to sell. So it will not come from the customers actually.
Okay, great.
So he is the one who would be most affected by the price change, because whatever profits are there, that has already been by the earlier processes. He is at the last stage of the process. So he's the one who, and he's a small scale business person. So he has to get if the price of the onions increase in midway, he is the one who's going to get it at the high price, but the customers would not be ready to buy from him at a higher price. So he is the one who's going to be affected most from the change in the price.
Yes, yes, yes. Price fluctuation.
Sir, regarding the customers, these types of people also have the fixed set of customers. That means when the cart is full, they generally prefer to be in a particular area. But as the cart gets like it becomes with the selling of the goods, it becomes less heavy. Then they prefer to go to different places. That's what I've seen in my locality.
Okay, okay, great, great. So,
And sir, regarding the price fluctuations and inconsistent prices, so there is a point of positive thing and also negative thing. So the positive is the negative we have already spoke, like it will be vary from the particular day, from day, mid afternoon and evening. But the positive side for that seller is, for example, if he is going to some posh area where some big rich people live, he can even increase the price to an extent so that they own mind. And on the other side, when he comes to some area where he thinks, okay, people here own buy products with this much high price, so he can even lower the price according to that one. So in that way, also it works positive for him. So he, at the end of the day, he sells his product, and he knew which customer would buy at which price, and he sells accordingly.
great. Okay,
Sir,
so
there is a risk factor because this product is always exposed to sun and dust. And buying the
risk
product,
factor in the sense,
yeah, the product is always exposed to sun and dust, sir.
okay,
So that people would not choose to buy from
okay, great. So now I'll come to this picture. Before that, I am sharing you a survey form. You can just feedback form. You can just fill it up. So if I see this picture, right? So what the things come in my mind? So tomorrow he will be able to get a food or not. This is the main thing. Like if I see, I'll think about it, and I'll just think and I get an idea from this picture. Like tomorrow, is it possible for him to get a food or not? How he'll get a food, right? So if he will be able to sell the product, then he'll get a food. He'll arrange a food on a daily basis, right? Because they don't have anything like they don't have a big balance account balance where they can store the money and they can just arrange a food for the next day. So it is totally uncertain thing for him, right? When he is in the market, it is totally uncertain. Like he will be able to purchase the product, right? He will be able to sell the product tomorrow or not. Why I'm saying this? Because a lot of factors are there. Now I'll just correlate this picture with this, right? This or this, anything you can say, right? So why it is happening, right? There are multiple factors. The same cycle I'll make for this guy. For this, why I'll make a cycle. So what he's doing here, like he's purchasing some product from some of the either from some of the peoples from the village, all right, or he is taking product from some vendor or retailer or dealer, right? So what happens? This is the first cycle. This is the primary case. Right? Secondly, he need to choose the market. He need to find out the market where he need to sell. Need to sell. Right? Apart from this, if he just bought this rickshaw on a rent, so he need to see the possibilities of getting rickshaw. Possibility of getting transport. Right? So this is the thing, possibilities of getting transport. Other thing you need to check is something like, okay, this is what the cycle for him for a daily basis, I can say. So this is what is a supply chain cycle. We can say it this cycle as a supply chain cycle for this boy, right? So this is a supply chain cycle for this boy. Why I'm concerned about like tomorrow he is getting a business or not is something like if suppose if it rains, if it is flooded, right? If some of the other things are happening, right? If there is a strike in the market, if it is flooded, if it is basically you can say it's raining. So if something happen, then this supply chain will break here. He will not get this. Got it? So now you can see how important the supply chain is. So this is what is a supply chain of this small guy, right? So his next day food will totally depend on the supply chain. That is happening here as well. If you go, it's this picture I've shown you. It is basically a supply chain where the raw material, if you see, this is something a raw material. It is going to food processing unit. It is getting processed, right? And after that, it is getting packed. After packing, it is good for a transportation logistic. It will go to the market and it will be go to the consumer. If any of the part is broken, like if you say, suppose this part is broken, if you say this part is broken, so what happens in this case? Your food will be here only, up to here. Like if it is something like a strike with the workers or a strike, or some natural calamities happen, then food will be here and it will get spoiled. After 10 days, like if they don't have a proper storage, it will get spoiled. So it is not reaching to the market, right? Because so this is what exactly happening in the market. Like if you see the small businesses as well, right? So if you see a small business, they are connected with some of the supply chain. If you see a small medical shop, I think somebody has to mute. Sandhya, you can mute your phone. Or so this is suppose medical shop. Suppose this is your grocery shop, your vegetable shop, right? So these are the important factors. So it is building. If these shops are connected with some of the supply chain, right? So this is the important point in business. When you are just seeing, when you are going to the like some of the businesses, you can just they don't know about the supply chain. If you just ask them what exactly the supply chain they are having, because these are the technical words. Supply chain are the technical words. They don't know. You have to ask in such a way. So how you are managing your product? Suppose this is a shop. So a shop is connected with some retailer. Retailer is connected with some dealer or something like if it is a pharmacy, it is connected with some retailer. Same thing. If it is a vegetable shop, it is connected with some vendor or vendor is connected with some farmer. Right? So it is a shop. Suppose it is a vegetable shop, a retailer. Retailer will go to the farmer, right? So here it's a pharmacy, it is a retailer. So if somehow the supply chain breaks, and if there is a monopoly in the market, right? Monopoly in the sense like if there is only one retailer, right? So there is a monopoly in the market, so it is totally cut off. If there are multiple retailers, then he can maintain a supply chain. But if there is a single retailer, right, then it will be difficult for him to sustain it in a business. Got it? So this is pretty important thing. Like when you are going with a small business or you are going with a big business, so maintaining a supply chain is a problem. Got it? So from this picture, this is what I'm thinking. Like there are different perspectives of thinkings. You are thinking in a different way. They are also correct. I'm not saying they are not correct. They are absolutely correct. But there is a different perceptions. So what I'm thinking, like I'm thinking this guy is getting food tomorrow or not. So for that, right, for maintaining this supply chain, like if you are going with a small shop like this, you have to see what are the dependent factors for his sustainability in the business, how he is sustaining in the business, right? So this will come based on the data. When you are going to do, you will just see what exactly the supply chain. Then you'll get an idea, okay, these are the supply chain he is following. From there, you'll get this data, and from this data, you are able to focus. Right? So here you're clubbing three things, right? The first thing is your like perceptions, what exactly the main problems will come in his business. The second is based on your data, like if he is giving the data or you are collecting the data from him, from the data you'll get strong evidence. I'm not able to show you the movie. That was a pretty good movie. I've taken some clips. If in the next time I'll show you, so it will clarify your a lot of doubts. How to visualize the data, how to clear the data, how to find the pinpoints in the problem, right? So maybe next time I'll just try. I'll just upload in YouTube and I'll just share this screen. I'll try to do something. So this is what you have to think about it, right? When you're going with a business, you have to think like what exact first. The first thing is how they are maintaining a supply chain. You don't have to discuss them in technical ways. You have to just find it out. Okay, from where you are purchasing a material, right? So if he's dealing with 10 products. So are all the products are coming from the same vendor? If they are all coming from the same vendor, then there is monopoly of the market, right? If it is coming from the same retailer, there is a monopoly. Retailer will anytime can shoot their prices and he won't be able to do anything because he don't have any secondary options, right? He is only depending upon the one option. That's why he need to depend on a multiple retailers. At least he need to shuffle and give them a business so that what happens, like in case of emergencies, in case of price fluctuation, he'll get anything. He'll get a different option. Okay, so this is what the important thing. So here I have explained you two things. So this is what exactly, if you see, this is also a food supply chain where the raw material is coming, processing unit, packaging, logistics. So any of the thing is cut off, you are not able to sell. I'll give you a good example of supply chain, a very good example. If you see Amul, right, or any of the milk factory or milk companies or dairy industry, right? They are having a very good supply chain. You see, in the morning 6 o'clock, you are getting a milk, right? So it doesn't matter like what the weather it is all about. What the thing is that they are just providing. In case if some place it's flooded, they are just even though you are getting a milk. So it's a very good and very systematic supply chain they are making. They are having a millions of customers, but even though they are just fulfilling the need of the customer. Right? So these are the things you have to see when you are going to the business. You are just discussing with them. These are the few of the things I have told you. Like there are multiple points. Maybe I'll share this document with you. A lot of things are there. I am sharing the video at anyhow. So from there you'll get idea. So these are the important factors. So the first is your inventory, right? How you can maintain the inventory. There is a price fluctuation. So to maintain a consistency in the pricing, what you can do. Because like if the prices increases in a night, the customer will fight tomorrow if you increase the price. Because you don't know there is a price fluctuation. You only come to know there is a price fluctuation. Right? So the other thing is customer experience, operation efficiency. So this is pretty important, operation inefficiencies. So what exactly, how they are restocking, how they are just taking the product, maintaining the like shelf life of the product, how recording the time spent, what are the products which are near to the expiry, what are the products which are not near to the expiry, right? So that they can just take up the product. What are the products they are just near to the expiry? They can just market them more. They can sell them on the first case, right? First head, and those are on the later stage of expiry. They can just keep their stock, right? So these are things they have to see, like small businesses. Yeah. So we have a lot of data, structured data for the sale, inventory, and customer behavior, right? You can gain some insights from the business improvement, also like how they can improve the business based on the data. So these all things are coming from the data, right? And after the supply chain quality check, this is the important thing. They have to see how the quality they are getting from the retailers. Because the customer will not blame them. Customer will blame on you if you are not giving a good quality. So these are the things, pretty important things. So I'll take a 5 minute break. I'll just have some water and we'll come. So meanwhile, you can just fill the feedbacks and make your questions ready. Yeah. So I hope the sessions is useful. Was useful, right? So. So how was it? Like I need some feedbacks. Like how what you're thinking about it. Like,
Sir, these sessions that we are having from last few weeks are extremely useful. It gives us a sense on how to come up with the exact problem statement when we are interacting with the, different outlets out there for a project. This is also giving a sense on how to come up with this solutioning part of it, how to also have some fair idea on how to progress on the project. So it is
yeah.
extremely useful for me.